3 tips to avoid the hangover, the headache, the tiredness, all those effects linked to the hangover on this year-end celebration, exclusively on Nutrition TV. Good morning guys, welcome on Nutrition TV. I am Josie-K, your tropical nutrition expert with 11 years of experiences and a best-selling author of 9 nutrition books. I will humbly encourage you to get them on Amazon and to all our representatives to move further on all the thematics like libido, weight loss, flat belly, and tropical food globally. So today, as we are already in December and that a lot of us are gonna have a lot of invitation, it's also possible that there might be also a lot of alcohol, a lot of beers, and we want to make sure that we are gonna be able to enjoy, to respond positively to all those invitations without sacrificing our health and our body. And we just thought about bringing you some interesting content in the direction for you to avoid the hangover during this year-end celebration, which is also one of the reasons why a lot of people are tired. Some of them find themselves in the hospital, in emergencies. Some of them find themselves sleeping 3-4 days just because their body can handle the high excess of alcohol they get during this period. But before we move forward, I would like to encourage you to share this content to your friends, to your mate, to just spread the information that Nutrition TV is now available on English. Make sure you share the video and you subscribe, to not miss any of our content. So first of all, we want to understand very good what is the hangover and why is it so bad when it occurs to a human physiology. The hangover is a set of unpleasant effects and symptoms that your body is experiencing after a high intake of alcohol. And one of the signs which shows that you are facing a hangover is extreme headache, like you just feel like there's something, beating inside your head. You are extremely tired. You have a lot of nausea. You might find yourself vomiting. You just want to sleep. You are completely to the zero level when it comes to your body or your level of energy. And we want to propose you some tips in this video to help you to be able to manage and to not to find yourself completely down. Because we understand that amongst you, if you are, for example, a mother, if you are a head of family, if you have a lot of responsibility or a job or that you have to work the next day right to the celebration, you have no excuse to cancel. You have no excuse to say you're tired, or you have no excuse to lack attention, especially if this attention is required on your everyday life or in your job. 1 glass alcohol, 2 glasses of water. This is the principle you want to make sure you apply for you to avoid hangover. This is the principle you want to apply for you to be sure that you're not going to end completely tired. You're not going to end completely weak or maybe ill if you've been able to abuse. So here is the principle. You have to understand that every time you take some alcohol, this is going to cause in your body what we call dehydration. So your body is going to lose more water than supposed, and this is why you find yourself with headache, you're tired, your mouth is completely dry because of this hydration. So every time you're going to make sure you're drinking 2 amounts of water for 1 amount of alcohol taken. This is going to help you prevent dehydration and all the side effects which comes together. So for example, you are on the table and you're drinking champagne. You want to make sure that after your first glass of champagne, you find a way discreetly to drink 2 glasses of water before coming and serving you again. I know and I understand that this can be difficult, especially if you are already in the party with friends and that you are in a community of people who don't drink water at all. We want to encourage you to be intentional by thinking about how you're going to make sure you have your water intake during this celebration. So you might find yourself maybe going into the toilet or into the kitchen, drinking discreetly water before coming to the table. But please make sure that after one shot of alcohol, you have 2 glasses of water. And this is going to be the first tip, which is going to help you to prevent the hangover. So before we move to the second tip, I have a question for you guys. Please tell me, which alcohol are you willing, or are you finding yourself drinking more often during the year-end celebration? Is it the beer? Is it the strong one, the whiskey, the vodka, the cocktail, the beer, or just water or juice? Please comment below. I will be glad to read from your comments and interact with you down. So the second tip we want to encourage you, or the second tip we would like to suggest you to avoid the hangover and his worst effect, is that never, but really never drink alcohol on an empty stomach. I believe that this sentence should be written down for you to get it definitely in mind and not forgetting it. Never, my dear, never drink alcohol on an empty stomach. This is the best way for you, to just get a strong shot of alcohol and to get immediately the side effect. This is also the way for you, to get a lot of side effect from the hangover, and this will take you much more time to get rid of it than if, for example, you make sure you eat before you drink alcohol. Let me explain this for you. Every time you're going to take the alcohol on an empty stomach, you're going to find yourself having a high amount of alcohol in your blood immediately, just because the alcohol just passes easily through your body. And that's why we would like to encourage you to make sure you eat before you drink, or if you're taking, for example, an aperitif, make sure you're eating a little bit while taking the aperitif, or make sure you're going to eat right after. And this is going to be really helpful for you. And addition to this tip, we want to encourage you to take the alcohol, especially the one that have 50% alcohol and more. We want to encourage you to take them only with fatty food. Only or mainly with fatty food, because the property or the advantage you're going to get from taking the alcohol together with fatty food is that the fats from the food are going to help you slow down. They are going to slow down the diffusion of the alcohol through your blood. So if you're taking, for example, a plate of achu or a plate of vegetable with a lot of oil inside while taking the alcohol, you're not going to feel so quickly the side effects of the alcohol, number one. And number two, you're not going to find yourself quickly like you have headache, you're tired. So the side effects are not going to be, or are not going to show up higher as if you will have taken them without any food on your stomach. So make sure that for any alcohol with 15% and plus level of alcohol, you make sure you are going to eat something quite heavy before or while, just to avoid to find yourself with too much alcohol quickly in the blood, and this might cause like some cases of vomiting or some other extreme side effect, especially if you're not used to take alcohol. So we just keep in mind that for this second tip, we want to make sure we eat some fatty food together with alcohol, because the alcohol is going to slow down the absorption of the alcohol in the blood, and you will feel less tired, you will feel less side effect from this combination than if you take the alcohol alone. And the second question I want to ask you, what are your tips? What are your tips that you're using the next day when you're feeling hangover? So I'm just curious to know, how are you able to manage from your side the hangover? So please share with us in comment, what are you taking, what are you doing usually when you feel the side effect of a hangover? It's gonna be a pleasure for us to learn also from you in the comments. So thank you for sharing with us in the comment. And the third advice we want to give you is that during this year-end celebration, make sure, please make sure that you don't combine different alcohol. Make sure you don't mix different alcohol. Make sure you don't drink in the same time the beer, the whiskey, the vodka, the champagne, and the cocktail. So avoid, the mix. Avoid mixing different category of alcohol. And the reason is simple. It's just that the way your body assimilate, the way your body process the beer is not really the same than the way your body process a cocktail which have alcohol and sugar. The way your body might process a whiskey which has 40% alcohol is not the same than the way your body is going to process the rum which has maybe 25% alcohol. So make sure you're not going to mix the alcohol, because this mix of alcohol is going to give a hard tax. It's going to give much more work and much more effort for your body, and especially the liver, for it to get through this high amount of these different categories of alcohol. So for example, I understand that, for example, when you have a complete meal, the alcohol you take at the beginning, which is the appetizer, which might be champagne or vodka, is not the same that you might have on the main course, which is wine, and it's not maybe the same that you take at the end. But here we are just paying attention of those who are taking quite high amount of alcohol. If you're taking just a little shot and different one throughout the whole meal, the effects are not the same, because we just seen before that eating while drinking are helping the body, to not to be under pressure, to not to be under stress of this high level of alcohol. But if, for example, you're finding yourself in a party or you're gathering with friends just to have some drink together, this is where this particular tip is very important. So if you're starting with the beer, it will be the best for you to just moving forward drinking the beer. And as we said at the beginning, 1 bottle of beer, 2 bottles of water. And if you're starting with the whiskey, make sure you only hold on with the whiskey on the whole evening or on the whole party, just for you, to minimize the side effect of this alcohol in your body, and to allow your body to process only one category of alcohol. And this is going to be a little bit easier than if your body have to process the champagne you drink 1 hour ago, and the beer and the wine and the cognac. This whole combination is very, very difficult to process in a normal human being, especially if you're not used to take alcohol. So here are the 3 tips that was really important for us to share with you. Please share the video again to your friend, to your mate, to all these men who are alcohol consumer. I believe this will make a difference for their in this year-end celebration they will find themselves in. Don't forget also to get this whole book or collection for you to move forward and to go deeper on the themes of libido, menopause, flat belly, and weight loss. Subscribe to the channel, and do not forget this wonderful Kid Detox, which is a strong and effective combination of non-laxative plants. They are going to help you to clean completely your liver and your kidneys, and to help you bring completely out the side effects, bring completely out the alcohol and the toxins which are linked to the body process of alcohol. So please make sure you order your Kid Detox on this year-end celebration, for you to be sure that you're going to be able to clean yourself after the celebration, and being able to get back your energy, to get back your strength before you start with the work and before you move forward with all your process. You will find them to all our representatives. And before we separate, I want to wish you a Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, enjoy yourself, and let us meet the next time for another wonderful content. This was Josie-K, your tropical nutrition expert with 11 years of experiences. Take care of you, and see you soon for another content. Bye.